From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good afternoon, I'm Alan Lester.
And I'm Alex Catanzaro. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Burning debris lit up Pacific Northwest skies Thursday night, the National Weather Service in Seattle said. Reports flooded in from several viewers across Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia, while some people captured video of the occurrence. The widely reported bright objects in the sky were debris from a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket that did not successfully have a deorbit burn. The rocket was delivering Starlink satellites, part of Elon Musk's program to provide broadband internet access across the planet.
WSU has been approved to administer COVID-19 vaccines. The vaccine rollout started Thursday with 120 students receiving their first shot of the vaccine. We spoke with one student who shared their experience.
It was pretty smooth, actually. Overall, the process took me 15 minutes, just in and out with the waiting time and everything. Scheduling was super easy. Just called ahead. They gave you time. You said, "Sweet, I'm in," and went in. Quick shot. Sit down for 15 minutes. Wait it out, and then you're done.
The number of students eligible for the vaccine is currently small, but the number is expected to grow quickly within the coming weeks. Pullman Regional Hospital has had a drop in its COVID-19 positivity rates. 12 tests came back positive from the 2-week period that ended on Tuesday. The rate for the 2-week period was 3.5%, down from last week's rate of 6%. There was also 12 new cases of COVID-19 at WSU. That brings the total active number of cases to 61 on the campus.
According to Pullman Radio's, Moscow's Gritman Medical Center's positivity rate for COVID-19 testing has dropped to 0.5%. 20 tests came back positive during the week at the medical center, reports ending Wednesday, which is down from last week's 3.5% positivity rate. No reports were made of any new COVID-19 hospitalizations at Gritman during the rest of the reporting week.
The number of confirmed cases in Washington has flattened statewide. Daily case counts have flattened to 654 per day as of March 11th. The state Secretary of Health, Jamar Shaw, says, quote, "This is worrisome because the number is comparable to the state's count in mid-October during the state's second surge," unquote. As the third wave causes have been slowly down, health officials still warn people to wear masks, practice social distancing, and wash their hands. KHQ reports that the Panhandle Health District Board of Health voted 5-2 to revoke their mask mandate. Their mask mandate has been in effect since January 28th. Some board members argue that the mandate impacted the mental health of Idahoans. Since the Panhandle mask effect took effect, COVID-related hospitalizations have dropped from 43 in January to 17 in March.
Movie theaters have been a missed activity since COVID protocols have forced them to shut down. Murrow News 8 reporter Isaac Connor took a look at a local movie theater and how it's reopening.
Local Pullman Theater Village Center Cinemas has been going strong since its reopening. Since the theater's reopening on March 5th, Pullman Theater manager Katie Bjorkman has been surprised by the business the theater has had lately.
I was very surprised on the first weekend that we were open. I actually under-ordered a bunch of stuff because we were expired all of our candy, obviously, since we were closed. So I didn't want to reorder all of it and not have as much business. But we ended up selling out of a lot of candy. We had a lot of sellout on our shows.
The Pullman Theater is open 3 days a week, Friday through Sunday, and employees are taking precautions to make sure everyone has a safe and enjoyable time.
All of our show times, we don't have any movies starting at the same time. The most amount of people that will be in the lobby is 50 people for one show. Then we also have implemented a new position for our employees. So it's a sanitizing position. So they stay next to the Coke machines in our butter bar. And after every customer use, we sanitize it since it's such a high-touch area.
These are just a few of the many precautions they are taking. Starting March 22nd, the state of Washington will move into Phase 3, which means big things are in store for the theater. Regional Manager Michelle Daughtry says that starting Monday, the theater will be operating under the 50% capacity allowance. For example, a theater auditorium that would normally hold 200 people will only hold 65. Michelle says that this is ideal for adequate social distancing. Bjorkman said that the theater will most likely remain open 3 days a week until further notice.
I think we're still going to be at the 3 days for the weekend just because it's going to help cut on costs and stuff since we're not making as much income as we used to.
She went on to say that she hopes once popular movies start coming out during the summer and people have more time on their hands, they will be able to open up during the week. As businesses like the Pullman Theater continue to open back up, people are beginning to see a slow return to normalcy. With Murrow News 8, I'm Isaac Connors.
Washington State University Student Health Services, according to Pullman Radio, has been found to not be in compliance with billing regulations in regards to third-party lab services. CLIA certified outpatient lab services were marked up, and those affected are being contacted to figure out repayment. The total amount is yet to be determined, but WSU looks to learn and improve from this situation.
The City of Pullman's town hall about the proposed public art project, the End Racism Now mural, has been pushed back to Monday due to technical issues. The town hall's purpose is to accept public comment about the mural. 20 people have signed up to speak so far. The current plan is to hold the town hall over the phone on Monday at 6 p.m., and anyone wishing to speak at the town hall can still sign up by 4 p.m. Monday.
Some construction might be slowing down your daily commute. Our live reporter Christian Garza tells you what to look for on the Pullman roads.
Alrighty, thanks Alan. So yeah, I am here at Airport Road located on the east. Thank you, Alan. So yes, I am here at Airport Road located on the east side of Pullman, where the city has decided to start construction Monday. So they're going to be turning this 2-lane road into a 1-lane road at 10 different locations, starting at Terraview Drive, which is where I am right now, and Orville Boyd Road, which is the end of Airport Road. So if you drive this road regularly, make sure to expect some delays for up to like 5-10 minutes while moving through those construction zones. Live in the field, I'm Christian Garza. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Christian. Governor Jay Inslee announced yesterday that K-12 schools will be allowed to reduce physical distance between students. Schools will be able to reduce the distance to 3 feet down from the 6 feet currently required. Schools districts are not required to make the change to 3 feet right away, but the governor's office did say that no school should be using the 6-foot minimum by the summer.
Washington state lawmakers voted to automatically restore voting rights to people who have been released from prison after committing felonies, even if they're still on parole. With the support of majority Democrats, the state Senate passed the measure 27-22 Wednesday night, following earlier approval by the State House of Representatives. It now heads to Democratic Governor Jay Inslee, who is expected to sign it.
According to Como News, Lake City Dick's Drive-In will be closing early for the next coming days because of nearby shootings. Starting Thursday night, the location closed at 10 p.m. instead of the restaurant's usual 2 a.m. time. Dick's Drive-In President Jasmine Donovan said that the recent violence on the property of the restaurant had a toll on employees. The latest incident involved an intoxicated customer refusing to wear a mask who was then refused service, leading to his friend pulling out a gun and pointing it at others, even firing a round in the air. The owner of the Lake City location hopes to resume full operations by Saturday. The David Goggins Challenge was made waves around the U.S. while a few local WSU students took it a step further, conquering their life's greatest physical challenge for something bigger than themselves.
The journey of 48 miles starts with a single book.
David Goggins, who's an ex-Navy SEAL turned author.
I've read his book. I've watched most podcasts he's in.
Goggins created the 4x4x48 challenge.
Running 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
I've never ran 48 miles in a month.
Wazoo students tackled the challenge together.
The 4 a.m. run was just horrible.
That's when it really hit. Wow, this is tough.
But we all looked at each other and were like, are you guys feeling it in the outside of your knees? And so I think our IT band started getting really tight, and since then, my Achilles have not felt the same.
For context, if you were to head south down Grand Avenue, 48 miles gets you all the way through Lewiston, deep into the LC Valley. But it's what they did outside this challenge that might impress you the most.
The SEAL Legacy Foundation, where we raised money for kids of fallen Navy SEALs.
Since 2001, there's 115 families that are without a father.
Our goal was to raise $10,000.
Wow, like, okay, you know, maybe we'll raise $1,500 and that's cool, you know?
Before we finished, we were barely at 5,000.
And it kept growing and growing and growing.
A big donor stepped up.
We got to like 8,000, and then he's like, if you guys can get to 10,000, I'll get you to 15,000.
Which blew my expectations out of the water. I was blown away by the generosity of the community.
118 donors, $15,000.
We did it, 48 miles.
Yeah. Not bad for a couple of kids and their sneakers.
It just reaffirmed the fact that like people want to do good things, and there's people out there that will support good causes, and I just thought that was amazing.
Andrew Bartline, Murrow News 8.
Washington is protecting citizens from a virus, but it's not COVID-19.
And a new promise from President Biden when we return.
There was an old woman a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
While everyone is protecting themselves from COVID-19, there is now a low risk of an Ebola virus disease for people in Washington. According to the Washington State Department of Health, public health officials in Washington are monitoring 23 low-risk people who have recently traveled from Ebola outbreak areas. The travelers will be monitored for a total of 21 days after their arrival in the United States.
Tornadoes and severe storms have hit the Deep South, killing at least 5 people. States from Alabama and Ohio have experienced bad weather, raising concerns of thunderstorms and flooding in several states. Tornadoes ripped across Georgia and Alabama within days of each other, causing splintering trees, wrecked homes, and downed power lines. Alabama governor issued an emergency declaration for 46 counties, and officials opened shelters in and around Birmingham.
President Joe Biden announced that his office is raising his vaccination goals.
Now today I'm setting a second goal, and that is we will, by my 100th day in office, have administered 200 million shots.
The announcement comes after the Biden administration hit its goal of 100 million vaccinations in just 58 days. The original goal was to reach 100 million in 100 days. Dominion Voting Systems filed $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox News today, arguing that the cable news giant, in an effort to boost ratings, falsely claimed that the voting company had rigged the 2020 election. The lawsuit is part of a growing body of legal action filed by the voting company and other targets of misleading, false, and bizarre claims spread by former President Donald Trump and his allies in the aftermath of Trump's election loss to President Joe Biden. Dominion said in the lawsuit that it tried repeatedly to set the record straight, but was ignored by Fox News.
According to the Associated Press, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a Republican-backed bill into law to regulate voting by mail as well as increase legislative control over elections. This drew protest immediately, with Democrats citing how this law will disproportionately affect people of color. Democratic State Representative Park Cannon was arrested by state troopers after knocking on Governor Kemp's office door after signing the bill.
As gas prices continue to rapidly increase nationally, I took an in-depth look at the cause of the spike as well as reaction from consumers. For workers like 19-year-old Joey Montalto, the recent gas price surge has seen him spending more than normal.
In the past couple months, I've paid the most for gas I've ever paid in the last few years.
Mr. Montalto commutes nearly an hour-and-a-half round trip every day for work and has noticed that as the gas prices steadily climb, his weekly take-home pay is getting increasingly smaller.
With the position I'm in with my minimum wage job in Oregon, which is not even the state that I live in, it definitely takes its toll on my weekly paychecks.
In the last month alone, gas prices have risen across America by an average of 27 cents per gallon, but some states have felt an even bigger surge. Arizona has seen the biggest one-month jump in gas prices by average of 45 cents per gallon, while Washington now holds the second highest average in the country at nearly $3.25 per gallon. Although some speculations towards the rising gas prices are seen as simple supply and demand, is there a bigger reason for why you're paying more and more at the gas pump? Ed Hers is an economist with a focus on the energy sector. While he points out that supply and demand are contributing factors to the hike in gas prices, there remains other influences that most people overlook.
You know, so much production around the world came offline during the depth of the pandemic recession last summer that it's slow to come back.
Mr. Hers notes that with Saudi Arabia cutting back their production of oil and the American dollar devaluing by a modest 10% over the last year, this has led to increased prices as well. Mr. Hers is confident, however, that as time continues, the prices could drop if certain actions happen.
You know, it depends on when we get out of the pandemic. If we're surging ahead, and it's not just us getting vaccinated, but everybody around the world, and we can get back to a world GDP growth.
Despite this outlook, Mr. Montalto believes that more people will be negatively infected before any type of relief at the pump will come.
Not everybody has jobs anymore. Lots of people have lost their jobs because of the pandemic. And with gas prices going up and these people not having an income, it will, help run their banks dry quicker.
So while gas prices have fluctuated throughout history, this recent surge leaves much to be desired. In Pullman, I'm Alan Lester, Murrow News 8.
Jacob Blake has filed a civil lawsuit against a police officer that shot him in the back and left him paralyzed. Blake was shot by Kenosha officer Rustin Cheesky in August while Blake was trying to enter his SUV during a domestic dispute. Blake is accusing the officer of excessive force. Cheesky told investigators that he feared for his own life and that's why he opened fire. Prosecutors in Wisconsin declined to file criminal charges against Cheesky. The damages that Blake is seeking have not been released at this time.
The sun might be making an appearance this weekend.
We will let you know how long that will last next.
Days, months.
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
Years.
I'd like to give you this.
A lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
The weather this week has been erratic to say the least, but will it improve over the weekend? Our weather woman Natalie Newcomb has the scoop.
Thanks, Alan. I'm Natalie Newcomb and I've got your weather. So it's been a little bit of sun today, high of 51 degrees and a low of 34 degrees. Now there's a light wind today, but tonight there's going to be some strong gusts up to 25 miles an hour, so make sure to bring inside anything that might be blowing around tonight. Sunrise today at 7 and sundown just past 7 o'clock. Now let's take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow morning there's going to be some fog, but that fog is going to clear up by the afternoon and it's going to warm up to 57 degrees with a low of 43 degrees. Now let's take a look at the state map. So on the west side of the Cascades, it's Sunny right now, but those clouds are going to be moving in later this afternoon. Seattle 53 and Olympia 55. Now central Washington, it's kind of a mixed bag, sunny and some clouds. Yakima partly cloudy at 64 and Tri-Cities warm at 66 and sunny. Now east of the Cascades, it's partly cloudy, Spokane at 55, Pullman the coldest at 51. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. I know it's officially spring, but it's definitely not going to look like it or feel like it, as we are not going to break the 60s, but I will promise you some sun this weekend. Now I'm going to get off here so you can take a look. This weekend it's going to be in the high 50s, mostly sunny, but the clouds will be moving in during the week, and the clouds are going to stay early next week. Monday, the temperature is going to drop all the way down to 44 degrees with some overnight temperatures at 28 degrees. So it's going to be cold and there is a slight chance of snow, but nothing that's going to stick. So make sure to have a coat with you on Monday. Now Tuesday, it's going to get a little bit warmer at 49 degrees. Wednesday, it's going to jump up a whole 10 degrees all the way up to 59 degrees. Anyways, that's your weather. I'm Natalie Newcomb. Back to you at the desk.
WSU baseball enters their final series of the road trip.
And MLB Stadium's to the non-baseball milestone when we come back on Murrow News 8.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for 1. He's tough enough to feed the man who gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hi, I'm Zygmunt Soroka with your Sports Block, and WSU Women's Golf teed off today in Arizona as they begin the weekend-long Ping Invitational. Amy Chu is slotted at number 1 for the 8 a.m. tip-off today, and teams will play one 18-hole game each day as a par 72. The Cougars will be competing against Pac-12 schools and a handful of teams from Southern California, New Mexico, Denver, and Michigan. Women's tennis has a match set against Stanford today at 2 p.m. Women's tennis is 10-6 after a 3-match win streak while holding a conference record of 2-2. Tennis will finish the weekend with a Saturday match against California at noon. Men's baseball will also be in Phoenix today through the weekend. Their 3-day visit to Arizona will be the last of their 12-game road trip, and sophomore Kyle Manzardo is 1 on-base hit away from breaking the WSU school record of 42 games in a row with a base hit. The Cougars are at a 12-5 record for the first time since 2010. They will return to Pullman for a Pac-12 series against Stanford on Thursday. And the MLB stadiums passed 1 million COVID-19 vaccine shots given. According to a AP News, 11 ballparks converted to mass vaccination centers during the offseason. Dodger Stadium, Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, and PNC Park all plan to keep providing doses after opening day on Thursday. The rest of the stadiums are deciding on continuing use for vaccination sites. The number 13 prospect in the high school class of 2021, Hunter Salas, announced he is committed to Gonzaga for basketball. Salas chose Gonzaga over schools like Creighton, Iowa State, Kansas, Kentucky, UNC, Oregon, and UCLA. Grand Canyon University basketball star Oscar Freyer died in a car accident in Northern California on Tuesday morning. Freyer's car struck a California State Patrol vehicle, injuring 2 officers and sending Freyer's car into a tree where it was engulfed in flames. Freyer was raised by his mother after his father died in a car accident at the age of 7. Freyer had graduated from school and earned his degree in communications. Nike celebrates this shoe today.
Stick with us.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Today is a big day for sneakerheads across the country, as today is National Air Max Day. The Air Max was first designed by Tinker Hatfield in 1987, and Tinker Hatfield has designed many other iconic Jordans, Jordans such as the Jordan 3 all the way up to the Jordan 15. So Tinker Hatfield has had his hands all over Air Maxes along the way. What about you? Alan, do you have any favorite shoes of yours, any Air Maxes you like?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know much about Air Maxes. I grew up as a DC kid, so, you know, that's what I pretty much stuck with. What about you, though? What's your personal
I'm a big
favorite?
Air Max guy. I have the Air Max 3s. They're one of my favorite shoes ever. They're actually called the Air Max 90, but they were called the Air Max 3 when they first dropped, and Nike just re-released them this year as the Air Max 3 Infrared 3s. One of the most comfortable shoes I've ever had. It feels like a pillow on my feet. I mean, it is undescribable.
Nice. Are those sound kind of expensive, though?
I got them for a deal, got them for retail, so I can't complain, but it is a great shoe. I would recommend that everybody go grab a pair.
That's awesome, man. I'll take a note of that. Thank you for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our other previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at NWPD/MNA, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good day.